fun last night. What a game Monday night in Jacksonville. Clearly, we kicked it off with all of our great
We've heard more
there.
Duvals in the last 6 months because of Liam Cohen's not great Duval and obviously being 4-1.
You know what? It didn't matter. He wasn't great at the Duval. He's a pretty great coach. Dan, Mina, Marcus Spears is here as well. Tons of reaction to that game coming. We're going to get to it. There's the wave. That means we can officially start. We have breaking news. The Bengals are trading for Joe Flacco. Cincinnati gives up a 5th-round pick and gets a 6th-rounder and the quarterback for the Browns. Flacco is Cincinnati's quarterback until Joe Burrow can return from his turf toe injury. I'll be completely honest here. When this happened, we had some interesting reactions texting each other. Dan, what do you think of this move? We'll start with you.
Why? Why, if you're the Bengals, with that offensive line, this offensive line has been bad for years. It still is bad. It's been mitigated by Joe Burrow. Joe Flacco is not going to be the person to overshadow that. And then the other thought was, do they in Cincinnati think that Joe's coming back? Like, is this the move that signifies, no, they have belief that Joe is going to come back maybe mid to late November, and they're just trying to keep themselves in the race so when he comes back, if they can get on that final 4 or 5 game run and get into the playoffs. But this one's odd to me.
Even if that is the goal, this isn't the right quarterback to get there. I understand that there's a dearth of options, but to your point, Joe Flacco was terrible under pressure. In fact, dead last in the NFL in QBR under pressure. QBR of 3. The Bengals' offensive line is even worse than Cleveland's, and they don't have a run game. Cleveland actually has a run game. So I understand that Jake Browning hasn't been good, but I failed to see the upgrade here. I know people are going to say, well, who else? But at least try to capture some upside, potentially. I just don't see the upside in this move.
Yeah, I agree. The perplexing thing for me was that Jake Browning has been here. Like, are you going to get better with Joe Flacco? And then you said it, and we've been talking about it, how bad this Cincinnati Bengals offensive line has been. But I contend always, any offensive line lining up in shotgun 60 times a game is probably going to look bad in 2025's NFL, especially with Joe Flacco with an immobile quarterback. Like, this the guy you go to based on all of the problems that you've seen. I don't know if it's an understanding. I don't know if you think he can get the ball out quicker. I don't know what this move was about. But the first thing I thought about was, okay, let's bring in a statue to stand behind the offensive line that gets the quarterbacks hit and then get better.
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why it's not a younger, more athletic option. Now, maybe they did in their defense. Maybe they made some calls for a younger player that's maybe a little bit more athletic to try to mitigate it. But this move doesn't feel like it's a upgrade remotely from Jake Browning. I know Jake Browning's turned the football over, but at least he's way more mobile.
Yeah, I would have. I mean, look, man. Mobility, it's better, but I would have. This should have been Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
Or even Russell Wilson. I just don't get the Flacco part of it. Like, I don't get it.
Well, okay, from the Brown side of things.
We down on this one, y'all.
After trading Joe Flacco, we're perplexed. To the Bengals, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders are the 2 remaining quarterbacks on the Browns roster. Dylan Gabriel showed some promise even in a loss. Bailey Zappi is on Cleveland's practice squad. That's that. Let's move on. Let's go back to last night because this is a whole lot more fun than that conversation. All right, Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs, taking on Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Third quarter, Jags trail 14-7. Lawrence launches a pass to Travis Hunter. What a catch.
Ridiculous job by Travis Hunter of just tracking the football. That's like that athleticism, that ball skill, the instincts that we often talk about with athletes. That's a very special, very difficult catch.
And how about Lawrence here? It felt like Spags didn't have a great plan for the running ability of Trevor Lawrence in this game.
Yeah, really good job. A couple times he saw seams and did not hesitate, put his back foot in the ground and took off.
And the game is tied late third quarter. Mahomes throws an interception. Devin Lloyd runs it back for the pick 6. He had 2 interceptions the week before, Mina.
Yeah, didn't anticipate him dropping out of that pressure look. His coverage instincts this year have been excellent. Arguably the most improved player in the NFL.
Wow.
He got a little tired there at the end. I don't blame him.
It's 100 yards a long time.
Going. All right, fourth quarter, same score. Jags have the ball again. Lawrence. This time he throws an interception to McDuffie.
Yeah, this is a huge point of the game. You know, start of the fourth quarter and you're up by a touchdown. This should have been pass interference. Fortunately for the Jags, it doesn't hurt them because the Chiefs immediately turn it into a tie football game.
So it's tied 21-21, under 2 minutes to play. Chiefs on the 2-yard line. Mahomes Sends it deep down the sideline to Hollywood Brown, and that's a gain of 20 yards. Spectacular catch.
Yeah, we saw a couple plus plays by Patrick Mahomes last night, and Hollywood Brown had a couple moments on the sidelines that were good, and then Kareem Hunt punches it in, they take the lead.
Yeah, so now Trevor Lawrence, he's got to make something happen right here. A minute left to play. Lawrence to Brian Thomas Jr., who hadn't been super involved in this offense, and that play mattered big time.
One of the best throws of Trevor Lawrence's career.
Agreed.
Right there. So impressive and such a big moment.
And then Trevor Lawrence right there. Ooh, it seems like an interception to Brian Cook. The entire stadium lost its breath, but ends up being called for pass interference. And then this is the craziest play you're going to see in quite some time. Lawrence gets stepped on. He falls down. He gets back up again. It didn't matter. He said that was just how they drew it up, kind of, but not really. Look,
I've had that being stepped on many a times before. Honestly, that's a great play by Trevor Lawrence.
Wait, what were you thinking watching this? Did you think this had any chance?
God, no. I thought it was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be awful ending.
Oh,
I'm calling it Duval.
With me after the game.
Duval.
Oh, just panic, sheer panic on the ground, we didn't have any timeouts, got stepped on coming out, and I was like, I got to get up, and I was just going to throw it out of bounds to stop the clock, and then there was really no one around me, so went and made a play.
What we do is truly the most pretty thing in the world. But guess what, man? Guess what? Guess what? Winning feels good. I'm so proud of the way you compete. And I'm so proud to be your coach. So proud to be your coach. Great job. Trevor Lawrence, get us a break.
Yeah, he turned 26. Trevor said he had a lot of cake waiting for him at home. Super young. It's a good reminder, right? It feels like he's been in the league for a long time, and he has in some ways. But 4-1, the Jaguars off to their best start since 2007. They've been doing their work in the trenches. Jacksonville ranks third in pass blocking, second in run blocking this season, and their +8 turnover differential leads the NFL. Last season, the Jags were -15 in turnover differential, fourth worst in the league. It was interesting, too. They did not have their starting center for a large majority of the game. Robert Hainsey went down, and
put the quarterback under center, run the football, have a little play action, a little balance through offense, goes a long way.
What did you see from Trevor Lawrence specifically last night?
Honest question, when was the last time the Jaguars won a football game because of Trevor Lawrence? Because of his performance.
2023?
A while. Last night was the first time in a long time I feel like he played with edge, he played with attitude, he played with confidence and moxie. I go back to that interaction with him and Liam Cohen on the sideline in the Bengals game and what was it and whatnot. And for feels years now, we've been begging Trevor Lawrence, don't be so robotic. You're a freak athlete. Take off with your legs and be impactful to the game. That's the story of the game. I think it's the story of the moment last night heading for the rest of the season. That this was the first time he played with attitude and edge, and you saw it with his decision making and him taking off with his legs. And then that leads to that final drive. Mina says it. This is the throw of his career. I agree. Ball's on the left hash. You're giving Brian Thomas Jr. all the space now. He sees that safety rotate, the yellow safety. Once he turns his back, that ball's going to BTJ. Now watch him slow play it at the line. You're just trying to slow play, burst. And the burst matters because it gives him an opportunity to save space to the sideline for that throw. Best throw of Trevor Lawrence's career, biggest moment. Now this one's interesting because it's a big completion to get him closer. Travis Hunter goes in motion. No one runs with him. So naturally as a quarterback, you think you're in zone, or they're in zone as a defense. Catches the snap and he sees the safety rotate the middle field. Okay, it's one high. Then he works to his left and in one hitch realizes it's man. Brian Thomas Jr. is getting pinned low. You've got leverage to De'Ami Brown on the outside, and it's another perfect throw. Like that's the thing that was so impressive last night was I saw this guy stare across the sideline to the best player in the world and be like, I can play with you.
Yeah.
And finally do it. And then the throws to win it were, it's why he went number one. But we haven't seen that version of Trevor Lawrence.
I'm glad you included the Brown throw. The Thomas Jr. throw has correctly gotten a lot of attention, but that throw was really impressive. Like, that was really good coverage on him.
Quick too.
And it took me back to, you asked when was the last time they were winning games because of Trevor Lawrence. I think back to the season when they went to the playoffs where he was really playing out of his mind. And that throw, the out, was probably the best tool in his arsenal that season. Throw. He was 9 for 9 on outbreakers. It's something that Brian Thomas Jr. is excellent at. And it was crucial because going into this game, I thought they're going to run the ball well.